Trent Jarrett. Trent Jarrett is a recent graduate of the University of Illinois at Chicago, where he earned a degree in anthropology and history. He was also the captain of the UIC men's NCAA Division I gymnastics team. You may have seen Trent on TV, where he competed on the American Ninja Warrior TV show, and he is now referred to as the Dyslexic Ninja. Trent is dyslexic and hearing impaired, and he speaks to youth about how they too can be ninjas and overcome any obstacles. Welcome, Trent.
Thank you so much. As you heard, my name is Trent Jarrett, but some other people can call me as the Dyslexic Ninja. How many fans of you guys are of the TV show American Ninja Warrior? Good, I'm hoping so, because this is big now. I was actually on the show, but before I was on ANW, I was a boy growing up in Beaufort, Georgia, whose parents found out in kindergarten that I was deaf in my right ear, about 85%, and I also had a learning disability. The learning disability was confirmed to be a high degree of dyslexia. I went to a public elementary school where my mom was a third grade teacher. I got pulled out of special ed classes throughout the day, and I absolutely hated it. One, just because I felt isolated and alone. Even though the help was much needed, I hated leaving the regular classes and having to come up with different stories to explain to my friends. Kept asking my parents when will I be cured. I learned early on at a young age to overcome obstacles living in the real world with dyslexia. One way for me was to be the best athlete that I could be. Whether it was soccer, baseball, youth track, I pushed myself to be considered to be the best little boy athlete I could possibly be. And then I found gymnastics. Even though my parents had no idea about gymnastics and weren't even close to the athletic ability to do it, it was a perfect fit for me. I did not start out the best gymnast on the team, but I had something different. I had the patience to learn skills compared to the other boys I did not have. I was used to being in a classroom, learning a little at a time and applying that to my sport. When things got really tough or difficult, some of the boys would get frustrated or aggravated or just quit. When things got really, really tough for me, I just overcame the obstacle, just like it was another day in the classroom. I'm used to staying up late with my parents doing homework, and somehow being dyslexic learned how to develop a very strong work ethic. Fast forward to high school. Through gymnastics in school, I found myself in high school with two major goals. I wanted to be the boys state all-around gymnastics champion, and wanted to be recruited and become a collegiate gymnast. As hard as the first goal was, the second one seemed even harder. While I was on the college prep track and making better than an average grade in high school, my advisors thought it would be very difficult for me to be accepted to the colleges that I wanted to go to. You see, the colleges that offered men's gymnastics were colleges that had stringent admission standards, and there also were majority of the Big Ten schools. Well, after 4 years of zero personal time, no school dances, no proms, no parties, I was spending time in school, tutoring, and gym practice. It was a balancing act, which I think basically that's what people with dyslexia go through every day. Somehow both goals were achieved. I did become the state champion and all-around, and I was recruited by 5 different schools, and my academic record and ACT scores were high enough to get me accepted to all 5 schools. But I chose to go to the University of Illinois at Chicago. One, because the great coach there, the opportunity to compete at the most events I could get, and also the most awesome academic services department I could ever be a part of. I set a couple of school records at UIC. One was the most proud of is competing in 44 straight meets for my university. I'm the only male gymnast from UIC that competed in every meet from his freshman year to his senior year. But honestly, I think there's a couple of meets I should have stepped out of. I was also elected as team captain and won several prestigious awards at banquets. At USC is where I really became a true advocate for dyslexia. I was 12 hours away from home, and I had to make it work somehow. I was up front and open with my professors about meeting with them regularly and explaining what my thought process is and learning. I prepared term papers well in advance, or at least tried well in advance, and I never missed a class. Even though I am now fulfilling my love for the sport of gymnastics as a professional coach, my degree in anthropology means a lot to me and my family. During my time at USC, I became even more crazy about the American Ninja Warrior TV show. And instead of saying that I wish I could be a part of it, as a dyslexic, I am used to making things happen. I knew that this was the opportunity to start spreading the message about dyslexia on a bigger scale. And it's funny, a lot of people ask me, is it hard going through these obstacles? And I said, well, one, my whole life is an obstacle. And two, this time I could at least use my arms and legs and not have to use my brain. So if you are dyslexic, you're also a ninja, because you overcome obstacles in your daily life that will give you everything to prepare you for the next phase of your life. I am so excited to be a part of this day and to get to meet my fellow dyslexic ninjas. If you get a chance, reach out to me on social media. I'm truly honored to be a part of this Say Dyslexia family. Thank you so much.